Hey there. If you've been feeling overwhelmed lately, you're definitely not alone. When stress hits, sometimes the simplest tools can be the most powerful. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create a simple yet effective stress relief tool that combines mindfulness with creativity using very simple supplies. It's a finger labyrinth. Importantly, today's Finger Labyrinth project requires zero artistic talent to make, which is the case with all of the art journaling techniques I teach. You might be wondering, what the heck is a finger labyrinth? Well, it's a labyrinth in a small size that you walk with your finger rather than your feet. I'm Stephanie Hahn, and I help busy people de stress through easy and enjoyable practices like yoga nidra and art journaling. I recently wrote an article for my client, Women's Brain Health Initiative, about the power of labyrinths for stress relief. And it was while I was doing research for that article that I discovered the finger labyrinth option and thought, oh, this would make a really fun art journaling project. So here we are. A labyrinth, either a full size one or a finger labyrinth, is simply a pattern with a single path that winds from the outside to a center point and then back out again. Unlike a maze, there are no dead ends to confuse you, just one continuous journey in and out. People have been using labyrinths for thousands of years around the world for meditation, reflection, healing. I love this project because the process of making the labyrinth itself eases stress through creative expression, and then the resulting art piece becomes a tool that provides ongoing relief as you use it again and again after to practice mindfulness and help you find calm in the midst of chaos. After I show you how to make the labyrinth today, stick around to learn how and why to use it to help reset your nervous system and bring you back to center. Let's dive into the creative part. I'm going to do a quick practice drawing on the left side and then my final one that I'm actually going to use on the right. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a shape like that with equal lengths. And imagine that there's a square here and we're putting a dot in each of the corners. We're going to start here. We're going to draw a curved shape over to here. We'll go to the next one and we draw around to here, keeping this as, equidistant as we can. And we go here, draw around to this dot. We go here. And we draw all the way around to this dot. So I can see from my practice one that I went bigger than I need to. I only need it to be the width of my finger. So in spots, it's much wider, which is totally fine. I'm going to just make my final one a tiny bit smaller. So let's dive in. To make it smaller, I'm going to start with a smaller X in the middle. Or T, I suppose. Put my light dots there. And then I'm going to a slight curve. And I'm keeping that as equidistant as I can. Keeping where I did on my practice page. Relaxing my face, shoulders, letting the pen just glide along. So as you can see, that's a pretty simple project. You can also see that I got some black pen on my hand and made a smudge here. This is all part of the process. I'm practicing releasing perfectionism, embracing what is. You could leave it just like this and use it. I'm going to take this a little bit further and deeper by adding some patterns. And what I mean by further and deeper is I'm wanting this to last a little bit longer. I'm wanting this to be a bit more of an actual creative art session in my journal. So on this side, I'm just going to show you some pattern ideas that you could use. I'm going to use a single repeating pattern along the whole thing to minimize the number of decisions that I need to make while I'm doing this. What you could do, for instance, spirals as though they are stepping stones along the path. You could do hatch marks, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could do like diagonal lines. I'm going to do the spiral. I always love with mindful doodling like this and pattern making how by the time you fill the page in all of your marks, there's so much going on that the eye just gets swept away by the beauty of the lines. Your eye doesn't zone in on anything where it's irregular. So it helps me release perfectionism. Before I go any further, I'm going to go along my line. If you had a fatter marker, you could probably do this really fast, but I'm just going to do it with this one. Make it a bit thicker so that it stands out distinctly from the spirals. That'll make it easier to spot the line when we are using the finger labyrinth. So as you can see, that makes the black line pop quite a bit more. I'm going to grab some new markers and play and see which colors I like. I'm going to choose 2. I like that. This is also a good way to test and see which ones still have ink. Okay, that's a good one. And see how having this extra page to just play kind of good too. I can hardly tell the difference between that one and that one. I'm going to do this one and the blue one. I feel like the pink is a bit too bright for what I'm wanting. So I'm now just going to color in. I think I'm not even going to worry about making it like solidly colored in. I'm going to just do spirals and leaves white. And do every other. All right. Let's switch over to my frame. Awesome. Love it. Now that the labyrinth is complete, let's consider why and how to use it. So why does tracing a pattern with your finger help with stress? Well, first, it engages your body through touch. When you slowly trace the path, you activate the sense of touch in your fingertips, which helps ground you in the present moment. Second, it focuses your mind. Following the path requires just enough attention to quiet racing thoughts, if you allow it, without requiring complex concentration. And third, it creates a rhythm. The repetitive motion of tracing slows your breathing naturally and activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in relaxation response. Let's go ahead and practice using the labyrinth now. Find a comfortable position where you can place your labyrinth on a flat surface. Place your feet flat on the floor, and we'll take a few deep breaths to prepare. With each breath out, release tension from your body, thoughts from your mind. Arrive fully in this present moment, here and now. And then place your finger at the beginning, the entrance to the labyrinth, and we'll simply follow the path with the finger in and then back out. And as we do, watching the breath, moving slowly toward the center, remembering there's no rush. Our practice moving really slowly. Single pointed focus on the feel of the paper against the fingertip. Allowing this ancient pattern to pour you deeper into quiet and calm. When you get to the center, you might pause with your breaths. Or coming back out. Body is relaxed. Mind is still. So that's it. The entire journey might take 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the size of your labyrinth and how slowly you move through it. You can do the path more than once in a single session if you need more time to reach a relaxed state. When is a good time to use your finger labyrinth? I'd suggest revisiting it as often as you like, really. Perhaps first thing in the morning to set a calm intention all day, or during stressful moments at work. It could even be a bedtime ritual to quiet your mind before sleep, anytime you're feeling overwhelmed or anxious. I'd love to hear how this practice works for you. Drop a comment below about your experience drawing or using a finger labyrinth. And remember, inner peace doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes it's just a finger's trace away. May our paths cross again very soon. Thank you for spending this time with me today.